Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Will You Push the Button. Now, for those who haven't seen the first two episodes, the rules are very simple. You get something, but something bad happens to you. It's a good thing and a bad thing, and you gotta decide whether that's worth it to you. So I figured this is a pretty good way for you guys to go ahead and get a glimpse into what Conbeastador is all about. For instance, you become Chuck Norris for a day. That's pretty cool. But the next he roundhouse kick. Wait, okay, anyways. He roundhouse kicks you in the balls. If you're a girl, you grow balls just for this. The answer is gonna be no. I get what they're saying. You're becoming the version of Chuck Norris that's in Chuck Norris jokes. I get that's what they're doing, but have you seen a picture of Chuck Norris lately? I will not. I will not. And a lot of people agree with this. Alrighty, you can read minds at will, but you become illiterate. What? Come on. Illiterate? You can't read anything? That's not worth it. Think of how much of our lives are based on reading. Practically everything. Even this game is based entirely on your ability to read. I mean, being able to read minds is nice, but that's not worth being able to giving. Okay, hold on. Is it saying illiterate as in like I can learn to read again? Because if I have to go through the whole process of learning to read again, that's fine for the power to read minds. No, I get it. I get what they're doing. They're saying that you cannot read. You can read minds, but you can't read anything else. I'm gonna go ahead and say, nah, there's too much joy to be found in writing to take that kind of deal for me. Moving on. You'll get unlimited free video games. That's pretty nice. But your console crumbles to dust the second you touch them. Then what's the point? What's the point? What's the point of getting unlimited free video games if you can't play them? The answer is absolutely not. I guess you could play only on PC the rest of your life. Okay, also, is it saying your current console crumbles and then you can just buy more? This is kind of like a PC versus console kind of deal. I'm gonna go with I will not. Being stuck to playing only PC games for the rest of forever, especially with Monster Hunter coming out so soon, I'm gonna have to go ahead and deny it. Denied it! Alrighty, next up. Apparently that's split about 50-50. Alrighty. You can solve the world's problems, but you will be assassinated. Yeah, easy, done. Absolutely, I do it. Solve all the... It's saying you can solve all the world's problems 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I'd totally sacrifice myself for a completely problem-free world for the rest of everyone for the rest of ever. Of course. That's no brainer for me. I mean, think about how many people you are helping. Think of all of the suffering you're alleviating. Yeah, absolutely. Also, is that how you spell assassinated? I don't think so. Is it? It might be. I'm not sure. Moving on. Apparently, a lot of people agreed with me. More often than not. That's awesome. You can get any guy girl you want, but you can never fall in love. But then wouldn't you just not want anybody? This is one of the... I'm getting a lot of, like, self-contradictory questions where you're... completely, like, the answer completely contradicts the question, where it makes it pointless altogether. I've been pressing I will not a lot on this. If you can't fall in love, then what's the point of being with anybody, right? I mean, come on. Next. Be skinny for the rest of your life, but never eat chocolate. There is plenty of candy in the sea. Being able to be perpetually thin without ever worrying about it and being able to eat anything in the world except chocolate. I love chocolate, don't get me wrong. Little fun fact about Conbeastador. Me, I'm a chocoholic. I love me some chocolate. But everything else for the rest of forever without ever having to worry about it? Sorry, chocolate, you and I, we gotta part ways. That's a pretty even split. Apparently there's a bunch of people who love chocolate even more than I do. Apparently 29,000 people. Crazy. The government is fixed, but the party system declared unconstitutional. Everyone is independent. I don't have a problem with this. You know, like, that's... Everyone should be making a decision based on what they want from their candidate in the first place, in my opinion. The party system, to me, is only to generalize the ideas that a person has before they get into office, as opposed to, wow, this will make everybody choose based on evidence and how they think of the individual. I was under the assumption that they did that anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and say, yes, the government's completely fixed and everyone gets to think for themselves. Sure. There you go. Booyah. I mean, when I vote, it's based on how I feel the person will affect the world around us, how it's gonna affect us as the United States, and, you know, me as a United States citizen. It's It's a per person basis for me, so I don't understand why that's gotta be a big deal. The first person to talk to an extra. Wait. You guys remember 2 episodes ago the question about you could surf the internet with your brain, but you would get excruciating pain for every grammatical error? Guy, the first person to talk to an extraterrestrial, so one other dude, gifted with gold and mass amounts of intelligence as their sign of peace. But time skips 5 years and feels like 10 minutes for you. Okay, hold on. Wait a second. The question is, be the first to meet an alien. They give you huge amounts of knowledge, gold, and gifts, and cool stuff. But you skip 5 years. Okay. For me, I'm kind of in the point of my life where getting to a stable point for me later is the priority. So if I snap my fingers and become dude who saw the first alien and also is now super rich and also has all of this knowledge for 5 years, isn't that kind of what I'm trying to amass anyways right now? Knowledge, wealth, experience. Yeah, I mean, I feel like 5 years of your life to achieve all of that in like snap of your fingers moment. I mean, life is precious and time is precious and it's really not on our side, but to think about it. If I started working now, what are the odds I would be able to accomplish all of those things within the next 5 years? That's the way I'm thinking of it. Yeah, sure. But oh, okay, now I gotta think about it. I'm assuming this just speeds up my time by 5 years and everything else is chill. Like, I'm feeling like this is like a life tax. It takes 5 years off my life and then everything moves on. But it's kind of worded weird. Time skips 5 years. Is that for everyone? Anyways, I can't think any more of that. Let's continue on. Let's keep moving. You can become a world athlete and win gold in multiple Olympic events, but you must make an undetectable performance-enhancing drug to do it. What's the point? What is the point? The point of the Olympics is pushing the human will and physical prowess in any given category to its limit, to its natural limit. You are just defacing the entire idea of the Olympic Games if you try to use an enhancing drug to do it. Winning by cheating isn't winning. That's the point. That's why we have a separate category and word for the word cheating. Come on. It's cheating. It's cheating and it's not worth it. I will not do it. This has been the primarily will not do episode I feel about. You can become a world athlete. Oh yeah, that was exactly what we just did. Okay, moving on. Apparently more often than not people agree with me. You will have a neat sweater, but it's kind of itchy. I could always go for another neat sweater. Let me think about this. Let me just... Yeah. You can always get another neat sweater. Come on. It's neat. It's not just a normal sweater. It's a neat sweater. Santa Claus is real, but every other holiday you know now never gets celebrated again. That's pretty intense. I'm gonna say I will not say my reasoning behind it, because my brain went to a very scientific place and it's boring. Moving on, your favorite sports team becomes the best in the world at their sport. I don't have a favorite sports team, but your team becomes hated by all other teams, and you will be called a bandwagoner. What? This question is probably, out of all the questions I've ever been asked on this game, applies to me the very least. First of all, I don't have a favorite sports team. Second of all, if I did, I wouldn't care about the peer pressure of being called a bandwagoner. That doesn't apply to me. So, I guess I won't. I'd rather just not be called a bandwagoner and force a team somewhere to be hated by a lot of people, simply because I guess they're, by technicality, my favorite. Cool. Next! For one day, anything you do is legal, but so is anything your enemy does. Number one, I don't have any enemies. Like, I don't make enemies, right? I try to be kind to as many people as I can be. There's certain people who don't deserve it, but that doesn't mean I have to be a dick about stuff. So I don't really have an enemy that this would affect. Number two, if I did, for one day, anything you did is legal, I wouldn't do anything illegal. Like, what's the point? What's the thrill in this? Like, What kind of thrill would you get from just going and shooting somebody in the face? You know, it's just like, that doesn't... I don't care about that. That doesn't get me going like, oh, yeah, I can go out and steal a car or whatever. This doesn't... I will not. I mean, I guess whoever is technically my enemy can go on their killing spree, but it doesn't do anything for me. I sit here and make a video. You know, on a day where I could do anything is legal, I would sit here and make a video. Yeah, I will not. Yeah, apparently a lot of people said totally cool with that. Dang. There's a lot of Grand Theft Auto players out there. You got a random superpower, but you become the small talking animal sidekick of the last friend you touched. What does that even mean, the small talking animal sidekick? What? Nobody I've ever known has a small talking animal sidekick. I guess our pets count. And become someone's pet? No. I got a random superpower and become a small talking animal. I'm alright. That's fine. Apparently 43% of people were totally cool with souling their body and soul to becoming a tiny little animal for a random superpower. What if you have the superpower of being able to detect what flavor of jelly bean you're eating? What if that is your random superpower and now you're a squirrel forever? Yeah, nice trade. It might not even be an animal you like. Like, what if you're an ophidiophobia? What if you have ophidiophobia and you become a snake? That would be terrible. Also, ophidiophobia is the fear of snakes. You and the world learn the meaning of life, okay, but you lose the most important person in your life. But wouldn't that just be the cruel thing that knowing that spending your life with someone special is, in fact, the meaning of life itself? Come on. Like, being able to surrounding yourself with people that you care about is, to me, the meaning of being alive. If you go through life alone, without even trying to make friends, to make connections with people, what kind of life are you living? To me, losing the most important person in your life, which I would never want to do, would be, you know, that would defeat the purpose of learning it. It's sad that the world wouldn't get to learn it, but on that one, I'm gonna have to be a little selfish and say I will not. Alrighty, apparently a lot of people agreed with me, and I guess a lot of people get it. All diseases that ail? Oh, yeah, that's a word. All diseases that ail humanity, both in the present and future, will be cured. But you suffer the most horrible, painful, horrific death imaginable. Yeah, it's me suffering one time so that no one ever has to suffer again. Pfft. Easy peasy, lemon cheesy. Wow, that was split 51-49. I guess... I don't know. I guess that you could also go into the whole, like, without... the evolution of diseases, mankind's genetic code would eventually devolve into a genetic cesspool. There's no more Darwinism, blah, 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 blah. But from the moral aspect of it, yes, I would absolutely do that. That's no-brainer for me. Easy. Moving on. How much time are we at? Oh, we are surprisingly out of time. Let's do two more. Two more. Diving into the mind of Conbeastador. It appears that my internet has crashed. Yes, it did. I thought we were going to do two more, and it seems like I psyched you out. This is the end of the episode. Yep, my internet's been crashing on and off all day. Part of the reason I haven't done live streams. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, got a little bit more insight into the mind of Conbeastador, go ahead and there we go. Go ahead and leave that thumbs up and let me know if you want to go ahead and show your support to the channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode of... Well, I guess the next one's going to be... West of Loathing? West of Loathing, yeah!